talking. So yeah. Can you guys see me? Just want to make sure. And if you guys could hear me, can you give a thumbs up or something? Let me know. Okay, sure. Okay. The Night Circus, I see. I haven't read that. Yeah. I've been reading Filipino literature these days. So, oh, I forgot the book. I want to get it downstairs in my room, but it's downstairs. I'm reading Kalul. Is it fine if I? Gee, I'm just gonna get a book. Real quick. Hang on. I'm sorry. Wait a sec. Okay. I'm back. Shall we start or something? I see. Everybody comment your favorite folklore song. Mine is Mirror Ball, just saying.
What if it's all of them?
Oh, I have many thoughts about August. No, but we're gonna talk about songs later. So yeah. Okay.
Should we start?
Yeah, sure. Wait, I'm sorry. Am I gonna continue? Okay, so hi everybody. Thank you for taking the time tonight and attending this workshop called How to Begin Writing Again. And I'm glad to see people interested in this workshop about this challenging craft, which is writing. So, yeah, but before anything else, this event is brought to you by this event is part of the Develop Assembly. It is a week-long series of events brought by the Develop Core team to you as we share our learnings from over the years. So we have a general assembly. We have a main assembly this 15th at Saturday at 8 p.m. And if any of you guys are interested in joining our core team, please visit develop.org/core. And to know more about Develop, Develop is an international nonprofit bridging tech for social good through education, community, and innovation. So yeah, before we start, I'd like to have everyone to introduce themselves in the chat. So state your name, your age, where you study, your favorite writer, or a book you like, or a book that you're reading right now. So I'll be waiting for responses. I'll be saying hi. So yeah, before we start. So I'd like to know everybody first, I guess. Yeah. So I'll be waiting for a little bit. Okay. Just go ahead, guys. Hi, Isabella. Red, white, and royal blue lately. That's interesting. Oh, I see. Hi, Gail. Hi, Ia. The Godfather. I haven't actually read that, but it's been in my list for quite some time now. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Jose Garcia Villa. I think I've heard of him. Hi, Josh. Nick Joaquin. Actually, I haven't read a lot of Nick Joaquin's works, but he's definitely in my list. Yeah, I want to read his books. How about everybody else? Feel free to introduce yourselves in the chat. Hi, Marcus. Oh, Art of War. Actually, I've been reading that like 3 nights ago, but then I fell asleep. So perhaps I'm gonna read it. Um, perhaps this week if I could. I already have like 15 readings um from one of my courses. So yeah. Haruki Murakami. Oh yeah, he's one of my favorites. My favorite is 1Q84. Hi Cyril. Pride and Prejudice. Oh, I love that. So yeah, I'll be saying hi to everybody after the talk, perhaps. Maybe we can hit up each other. So yeah, I'm gonna be reading the responses later. So it's nice to know everybody's favorite books and where you guys are from and your names. So yeah. So anyways, my name is my name is Bryn Rizuli Isaac. Bryn Isaac for short. Just call me Bryn. I'm 19 years old. I'm also the content creator in technology.ph. It is part of Develop. It's Develop's newsletter. And outside of Develop, I am a sophomore from the University of Santo Tomas. So I'm taking up AB Asian Studies. I'm also the executive editor of my university's premier digital media organization, Thomasina Web. So yeah, so that's sort of like a lot of things. But to cut that short for a little bit, before anything else, before I am a student or an editor, or someone who's highly interested, I guess, in journal articles or whatever, I'm a writer. more like since I was like 10 years old or something. Yeah, I'm actually a frustrated writer. That's how I call myself right now. Um, that's how I also introduce myself in the Discord chat. So yeah, it's good to be honest sometimes when we're frustrated about our craft. So yeah, I'm what people would call, or what I myself would call, a frustrated writer. So I could sometimes go on for hours and hours on end trying to confront these blank pages. I have drank like 3 cups of tea. Imagine there's something in the mug. I also read a lot of how-to articles, how to get out of a creative rut or a writer's block. I have chatted my friends, watched some films. I don't know how to still describe that film. I also meditate sometimes. I try to do yoga, but that's not faring for me that much as of the moment. And yeah, but basically, I've done all of those things, but I still get nothing at times, which is kind of sad. So, despite all of those activities that I do to help myself write again, it's sometimes difficult because I guess we just work differently, especially when we create art, when our work demands like our entire brain to work. So it doesn't really work for us all the time, which is unfortunate, especially when you have a lot of academic papers. And for me, I think that writing is a deeply personal endeavor. It doesn't only I'm not only pertaining to what we create, but it's also like how we shape our lives around it, especially for writers themselves, especially for how we live our daily lives. We often need to be in a good condition to write, to have the right headspace, and basically the will to write, which is sometimes difficult, especially in this quarantine, given the fact that we only stay in our houses. We don't get to meet a lot of people every day to keep us inspired or whatsoever. And as someone who has only gotten support from how-to articles or only the same pieces of advice, or like I guess feedback from essays and all of that, I found that what works for others might not necessarily work for me, and vice versa. So if another person, let's say, like taking like 2 showers or 3 showers in one afternoon works for another person, because I've heard of a friend who takes like 3 showers in a day, like in one afternoon, just to keep his head going from writing. It works for him, but apparently it doesn't work for me. So I found it a difficult time trying to find out what I like. So yeah, it took like a lot of trial and error for me. Um, but yeah, as I was saying, not everything that works for me may work for others, and vice versa. But despite getting that support from only, let's say, how-to articles or some pieces of advice, it would be great if like we could gather as a community, especially a community of writers, or maybe even perhaps just a small group of people, like a support system on how we can help each other out whenever we're writing. So I've written a few um, I've written a few works. Well, in retrospect, actually, I've written a lot of things. But these are one of my most favorites, that I wrote when I was having a really, really, really bad writer's block. So the first one, this is called The Real State of the Nation. I wrote this last year. It's about the protest, about the State of the Nation address. It was an amazing day. I got to meet a lot of amazing people, people from different walks of life. So then I wrote that, with a heavy writer's block. So I am still unsure how I did that, but by far that's actually one of my most favorite things that I've ever written about. And then the second one, it's a little recent. It's called Tales of Disturbing Cacophonies. I wrote about, it's actually my July editorial for Tomasino Web. So I wrote about the, this administration, our government. So yeah, if you guys want to check them out, feel free to search for the titles of the articles, or maybe perhaps I can send it later or something. But yeah, so I've said all of that, trying to find out what we like whenever we write, or maybe, trying to basically find out what comforts us and what could keep us going. It differs for a lot of people. So I'm gonna share like 10 tips on how you can get back to writing, or how you can get back to writing again. So yeah, the first one, it's is very ironic given that this is a talk about how to write again. So the first one is, don't think of writing, or try not to. Just don't. I'm serious. For me, in my opinion, it brings in a lot of pressure, and I guess you can think about it, but just lightly. There were a lot of times when I really, really tried like putting my mind in what I want to write, but then the more I think about it, the more that I wasn't able to do it because I ended up just pressuring myself. So, like, perhaps watch your favorite film, a TV show. That could definitely help. Try to put your mind somewhere else. That's not writing, even though when you really need to write. It works though, just give it some time, maybe a little time. So yeah, the next one is read something. I know this is like generic advice, but hear me out on this. So the more we read something, the more we know, basically. So like my advice for this, because I had a talk last month, and it was about telling stories, and then someone asked me like, what are one of the ways that you get rid of writer's block? I always tell them, at least this was the advice given to me by one of my friends, is that read something that read something that's not related to the topic that you're writing. So for example, let's say if yeah, when I was writing The Real State of the Nation, I think I can remember reading this book by the Grimm brothers. It's one of my favorites. So yeah, I was reading that. It's totally different because that one is about, the story that I was reading about was like killing someone, and then the other is that I'm writing about an administration, a government. But really, what's the difference? Anyway, so yeah, that advice was given to me by a friend. Read something that you're not reading. I read something that's read something that's completely different from what you're writing about, or maybe it's just something different. It doesn't have to be like drastically different. But even if you're reading and it doesn't hit you as if you're soul searching, just read. Maybe you could learn or relearn writing structures, techniques, how to use more of your vocabulary, how to make it more flexible, I guess. So, yeah. As I was saying, like earlier, I said here before the talk started that I was gonna get some books. One of the pieces of advice that I give people, whenever they're like short on words, or yeah, whenever they're short on words, is that try reading poetry. It really works. So one of my favorites right now are Kaluluwa. I'm reading this book right now, actually. Kaluluwa by J. Neil C. Garcia. It doesn't have a photo. I didn't find an available photo on the internet, and I don't feel like I'll be able to do it any justice if I take a photo of it. But this is the book. It's kind of thick. It's like, yeah, it's 320 pages. So it's an amazing book. Basically, at the back of the book, it said, "Death is the muse of these new poems." So that's very interesting. And the second book, it's called The Second World. It's by Rafael Antonio Cisa Diego. It's this one. I have a lot of new favorites because of this book. So yeah, it's really amazing. And I believe he also added a poem here about the State of the Nation address. So yeah, this is available I think in UP Press. I got this in MIBF last year. So yeah, try reading poetry when you're short in words because you might find out new ways on how to use those figures of speech. So, what about essays, short stories, and novels? Well, you can also go for them if you want to be kept busy. So, the books that I often read, when my favorites at least, the ones that have, really inspired me to keep writing, I like I Am the Messenger by Marcus Zuzak and Smaller and Smaller Circles by F.H. Batacan. Um, so, yeah, really amazing books. If you guys have read that, good for you. If you haven't, please do. It's amazing. So yeah, I've said a lot of things about those books, but here's what I can say about reading. As I what I have said earlier, read to understand. Read because we are always better when we do. I feel like whenever I read, I feel like I'm always like a better version of myself or something. So yeah, if you want to like take some time off from social media or to recuperate or something, do read a book. Or maybe if you want to take a break from your writing, because that's what I do from time to time. So the next one, find uh, find or listen to a song on repeat. I'm sorry. So listen to a song on repeat. So I'd like to ask you guys, who do you listen to? I'm gonna look. Wait a sec. So who do you guys listen to? I'm gonna Red. Oh wait, do you mean the album? I love the album. It's amazing. Oh, also Reputation. Yeah. I listen to Reputation when I want to feel like a badass. So yeah. Just go ahead, guys. Mitski. Yeah, I saw that in your mini stop fried chicken playlist. I haven't listened to it though, but perhaps later I'll listen to it. Oh, Hiro Yuku Sawano's Attack on Titan soundtracks. Interesting. I do gather that a lot of people are listening to Phoebe Bridgers. Oh, I think I should listen to them. So yeah, I see that you guys have very interesting tastes in music. Oh my god, Hosier! Sis, I will never shut up. Let's talk about Hosier later. Later. We will yearn later for Hosier. I know, reading, right? Okay, anyway, let's talk about Hosier later. You're gonna see him here anyway. So yeah, listen to a song and repeat. So you guys have shared responses like who do you listen to? Um so yeah, I listen to songs whenever I write. I personally prefer EPs over albums, especially when I write, because it has like a smaller variety of songs and I won't spiral into singing later. So yeah, these are the people that I listen to. Yeah, I told you guys I love Hosier. So I always listen to these EPs. Nina Cried Power by Hosier, Of Sound Mind and Memory by Reese Lansangan. I love it so much. I always listen to it, especially when I'm sad or when I just, want to listen to sad songs. And His Young Heart by Daughter. I have another favorite from Daughter, but yeah, His Young Heart is my most favorite. So, where was I? So yeah, I listen to those songs. It's really great. It provokes me to write. It provokes my emotions enough for me to write. So, but when I really need to write, because I listen to EPs whenever I'm trying to focus, when I'm gathering like my energy enough to write. But when I'm writing or when I really need to, I only listen to one track. It would be on repeat for like hours and hours and hours. So for me in this case, I listen to it's the same EP again. Yeah. I listened to Shrike by Hosier, Haha No One Can Hear You by Galliant. I hope I pronounced it right. Um yeah, I know the song is like pop-ish. I'm sorry if I described it incorrectly. If that's not the way to describe the song. But yeah, I love it. It's amazing. And this one, sa Hindi Pag-alala, I can remember writing this really long essay about home and leaving home, like leaving to go to another country for home, and then I kept listening to Sa Hindi Pag-alala. I love it. It has a special place in my heart. So yeah, I only listen to one track only whenever I need to write. It keeps me concentrated, especially when the song can ground me. Like Shrike, whenever I'm like sad or disappointed about something, I would listen to either one of these songs to like calm me down, especially Shrike. So yeah. Um, or if music doesn't work for you in some cases, sometimes music doesn't work for me whenever I'm hearing too much music or if I've been listening to music for like, let's say 10 hours or something, I use a white noise app. I didn't include it here, but the name of the app is Tide. So yeah, I listen to it. So the next tip. So the tip that I just gave is listen to a song on repeat. So yeah, the next one is I'm not sure if you guys would be willing to do this, but move your body. Work out, exercise. Trust me, this will help a lot. My guidance counselors advised me to exercise, to work out, or to even just move, because it could help me improve my mood, and it changes how my brain goes about with stress, anxiety, and pressure, especially when school is coming and I really need to write. Given the fact that I'm also in liberal arts, so you're dealing with a lot of words every day. But when you work out or something, you don't really have to like break a lot of sweat when you do it for the first time. I gather that it's also difficult when you work out and then you want to go all the way, but it gets really exhausting at times. So you don't have to break too much sweat. You just basically have to do it. And that's the start of everything, I guess, of physical fitness. So yeah, just do it. I promise that it helps. Yeah, the next one, I don't know if you guys would know about this, or I sort of feel like it's a weird advice, but follow the bots of your favorite writers. So when you're casually scrolling on social media, you'll see works of your favorite authors. So like again, in a way, it's like you're reading a book and then when you're casually scrolling on Twitter. So for me, I follow Chingbot Cruz. It's at Conchitina Bot. And then the other one is Isabella Botzan. It's at Banzan Bot. So these are one of my favorite writers. These are my favorite writers. I haven't read a lot of Isabella Banzan, but yeah, the other one, she's my most favorite writer, Conchitina Cruz. You guys should definitely check out her works, especially Elsewhere, Held, and Lingered. It's really amazing. So yeah, in a way, it's like you're also reading a book when you're casually scrolling on Twitter. But you can mostly find it on Twitter. I don't follow a lot of writers on Instagram. I just don't. I don't know. So yeah, so there you have it. Those are what I can suggest. I can guarantee you Conchitina Bot is really good because it's all words by Conchitina Cruz, but not affiliated. The other one is not affiliated either, the Isabella Botson. So yeah, that's what I can suggest. And maybe you'll be able to discover what you like by reading like a few of those lines, a few of those sentences. So yeah. So the next one, since you guys are all here, perhaps drop your social media handles, find people around you who write. We have amazing communities such as Develop or let's say like literature organizations. Yeah, it's the org is inactive, but I'm part of Ampersand, so it's also a literature and an art org, and perhaps some collectives too. You guys could join that. There are people you can connect with, people you can collaborate with. Um, and yeah, talk with your fellow writers, share your struggles, share books, essays, edit each other's works, have a workshop. It's really great. The last time I've been in a workshop was with my class, and then we read each other's essays. Like there were people in front, and then they were reading their essays, and then some of us gave like feedback, critique of the works, and all. So it was amazing, and it'll really help you to write. It'll advance your writing skills because you have a group of people giving you feedback all at once, and you'll really be immersed in the whole thing. So yeah. So the next one, I think this is sort of a given, but some people neglect this. So yeah, the next one. Oh, by the way, those are my social media handles. I forgot. So in case you guys wanna follow each other, perhaps I'll follow you guys later. So it's at Miss Bryn Isaac. That's my personal. And yeah, basta that one. Those are my social media handles. So yeah, this one. The next one is write on a desk, sit on a chair. So many people ignore this. Oh my god. And I may have been one of those people before. Um I liked writing on my bed, but then I realized that it's not good for me because I just end up sleeping sometimes or I end up becoming lazy. So I would definitely recommend to write on a desk and sit on a chair. So yeah, I've been doing it a lot these days. I've been writing a lot actually. Trying to write. It's been difficult, admittedly, but we're getting there, don't worry. So yeah, speaking of this, writing on a desk and sitting on a chair, it will really keep you productive instead of writing on your bed. So please sit on a chair and not on your bed. Yeah, put your stuff in one place, I guess. But speaking of that, the next one, use one notebook and one pen. As much as possible, just one pen, because your notebook and your pen has like, this is gonna sound weird, but it has like an energy. You should, I'm just merely suggesting, but um write all of your drafts in one notebook, even if it's those really bad drafts. And perhaps you can even, like include your grocery shopping list. But instead, just write in one notebook. And as much as possible with one pen, because it has energy. I swear it does. And yeah, also bring it with you, even if you have no intention to write. It's not like you have to bring it in the comfort room or whatsoever. But, like, for example, let's say when you're leaving your place, perhaps like post pandemic, when you're hanging out with friends and you've been trying to write for a while, bring your notebook and your pen. It really works, even if you don't need to write, even if you don't want to write, just do it. Yeah. Um, the next one is a little weird because another advice has been given for this, but do not turn off your phone because eventually you'll just turn it on again. And I'm not sure if this will work for everybody, but it does work in my case because for me, turning off my phone will just make me turn it on again, and that will make me like subconsciously spiral into procrastinating, and then I'll completely forget with what I'm doing. But yeah, basically you have to like discipline yourself. I'm not sure how to do it. I think people go around it differently, but I can really suggest not turning off your phone when you have to do something or when you have to write, because you'll just go back again to it. There's like this itching feeling at least. And Yeah, number 10, and this is the last, focus, prepare yourself. Even when you have no intention to write today or tonight or in the next hour or any time that you see right now. So, yeah, just do those things, all of those things that I have mentioned before, even if you have no intention of writing at all. So, to sum it up, number one, don't think of writing. Number two, read something. Number three, find a song to listen to. Number four, move your body, work out. Number five, follow the Twitter bot of your favorite writers, the unaffiliated ones, and perhaps maybe follow your favorite writers too. Give them support, buy their books or something. Number six, find people around you who write. Number seven, write on a desk, sit on a chair. Eight, use one notebook and one pen because it does really have a collective energy to it. Number nine, really weird, but do not turn off your phone. And number 10, focus and prepare yourself. So, yeah, that's basically it. Those are my tips on how to begin writing again, or how to begin writing at least. So even if you're a new writer or a writer who's been frustrated for years and years now, I think this is something that we can all do if you want to like deviate from those how-to articles that maybe won't work for you. Turn around your routine, so you can do these things. So yeah, that's my talk. So thank you guys for going. Again, this event is part of the Developh Assembly, and it is a week-long series of events brought to you by the Developh Core team, as we share our learnings from over the years. And we'd love to see you. We definitely want to see you out at our main assembly this August 15th, Saturday at 8 p.m. And if you guys are ever interested in joining the core team, please go to developh.org/core. And again, Developh is an international nonprofit bridging tech for social good through education, community, and innovation. So, again, thank you guys. My name is Bryn. And yeah, those are my tips on how to begin writing again. Wait, Developh Collective. Okay.